It's payday. Your phone lights up, the deposit slides in, and for a moment, quiet, relief. But right on its heels comes the whisper, should I upgrade my phone, replace the shoes, book the trip? That's lifestyle creep. And it doesn't build over years, it slips in through these tiny, forgettable moments. Here's the secret. Lifestyle creep isn't a slow burn. It's a series of split-second decisions that compound into financial quicksand. But Japan has carried the antidote for centuries. Because here's the contrarian truth. The wealthiest people don't scale their lifestyle with income. They let income outgrow their lifestyle. Picture this, a Tokyo morning. Between neon signs and high-rise apartments, a family sits at their table with pen and notebook. No apps, no spreadsheets. The physical act of writing forces a deliberation that a quick tap on a screen can't replicate. It's just you, paper, and one crucial question. Do I really need this? This ritual is Kakeibo, a budgeting method over 100 years old, created by Japan's first female journalist. Unlike Western budgeting, which often feels restrictive, Kakeibo is reflective. It's about understanding your spending habits and emotional triggers, making it almost meditative. Each purchase is filtered through intentional living. That pause, the noticing, becomes armor against lifestyle creep. When's the last time you stopped yourself from upgrading, not because you couldn't afford it, but because what you already had was enough? The danger is that lifestyle creep is invisible in real time. It's the slow inflation of your wants into needs. A nicer dinner, a better jacket, a bigger apartment. Each decision feels small and justifiable on its own. One upgrade resets your baseline, and suddenly your money disappears without your lifestyle feeling dramatically better. But in Japan, restraint isn't about punishment. It's about preserving choice, preserving freedom. Here's another habit, the envelope system. Even today, cash plays a central role in Japan. Salaries are often withdrawn and divided into envelopes: rent, food, savings, personal spending. It looks outdated, but it works. Because when you spend cash, you feel it leaving. No swipe, no tap, just the weight of money disappearing. That physical friction makes every choice clearer. Ask yourself, when was the last time you actually touched your rent money? Or do you just watch numbers on a screen? What if wealth wasn't loud at all? No designer labels, no flashy car upgrades, just a life designed to be sufficient, so extra income feels like surplus. Not an excuse to spend more. That's stealth wealth, and Japan lives closer to it than most countries. Step into a Japanese apartment and you'll notice something. Minimalism. Not the Instagram version with expensive minimalist furniture, but real simplicity. Fewer items, functional design, things kept for years. This isn't just aesthetic, it's financial. Fewer possessions mean fewer replacements, and the calmness of a simple environment makes upgrades feel unnecessary. Minimalism becomes a shield, a quiet defense against lifestyle creep. You might be thinking, that works in Japan, but not here. My culture pushes upgrades. My friends upgrade. My coworkers upgrade. And you're right, which is exactly why these habits matter more. Because they aren't locked to Japan. They're frameworks. Quiet tools for anyone who wants freedom instead of endless consumption. At the core of Kakeibo lies a simple question. Is this a want or a need? Childlike, almost too simple, but powerful. Asking this consistently forces lifestyle creep into the light. It strips away the illusion that upgrades are necessities. Now compare that to how most people live, defaulting to the newest phone, the Friday dinner out, the bigger house, without ever questioning. Imagine carrying that Japanese question into your next payday. Would your money feel different? Here's a sobering truth. Most people aren't broke because they don't earn enough. They're broke because their lifestyle silently inflates at the same speed as their income. But wealth doesn't live in income. It lives in the gap between what you earn and how you choose to live. Consider Kenji, a mid-level office worker in Tokyo. His salary isn't high. By Western standards, it might even look small. But every month he practices Kakeibo, uses envelopes, resists unnecessary upgrades. He doesn't own the newest iPhone or a luxury car. His apartment is small, quiet, and tidy, yet his net worth grows every year. Meanwhile, his Western counterpart might earn double but spend double too. Bigger house, newer car, endless subscriptions. The gap? Gone. The freedom? Lost. So, who's really wealthier? Here's the question. What's more valuable, appearing rich today, or creating the quiet freedom to be truly wealthy tomorrow? Japanese money habits aren't about deprivation. They're about intentionality. About making sure lifestyle creep never steals the future from the present. And if you anchor yourself in those habits, even just one at a time, you'll find that wealth builds almost invisibly, quietly, patiently, powerfully. I'll be honest with you, I learned this the hard way. When I got my first decent paycheck, I thought, finally, I can breathe. But instead of peace, I found myself chasing upgrades, new shoes, nicer dinners, a phone plan I didn't even need. And the strangest part, the more I earned, the tighter things felt. My income grew, but my freedom didn't. It was only when I stumbled across Japanese money habits that I realized what was happening. Lifestyle creep wasn't an enemy out there, it was inside my daily choices. When did your spending start running faster than your income? Can you remember the exact moment? So let's break this down. Here are 3 quiet habits, inspired by Japan but usable anywhere, that protect you from lifestyle creep. Think of them like planting a tree in still water. Growth you don't see at first, but years later, the roots are unshakable. Step 1. The question ritual. This comes directly from the Japanese art of Kakeibo, the household financial ledger. At its core is one guiding question you must ask before every non-essential purchase. Is this a want or a need? It sounds almost childishly simple, doesn't it? But its simplicity is its power. In a world that screams, buy now, this question is a whisper that commands you to pause. It forces you to slow down, to choose stillness instead of automatic upgrading. Every time you ask this, you put one more layer of armor between you and lifestyle creep. I used to skip this step, until one purchase hit me like a brick. I bought something big, something I thought I deserved. But a month later it was just another object collecting dust, a monument to a momentary impulse. And then, I made one change that reversed everything. Step 2. The envelope anchor. This is a modern take on a classic Japanese budgeting method. Traditionally, this was done with physical cash divided into labeled envelopes: rent, food, savings, personal. When the personal envelope was empty, that was it. Now you don't have to literally carry cash, you can create digital envelopes with banking apps, but the principle is timeless. Give your money roots and boundaries. This creates intentional friction. Think about it, how much easier is it to swipe for an impulse than to physically hand over a $100 bill? That tangible moment of loss is a powerful psychological barrier that stops lifestyle creep from sliding in unnoticed. Here's a number to keep in mind. 90% of lottery winners are broke within 5 years. Why? Because without anchors, new income just feeds lifestyle creep. The silent rich? They do the opposite. They keep their lifestyle firmly rooted, while their income grows around it. Step 3. The minimalist lens. Here's where the philosophy of Japanese minimalism intersects directly with your finances. It's not about owning nothing, it's about owning only what adds true value. The fewer possessions you chase, the fewer upgrades you'll crave. This mindset is a global phenomenon. Scandinavia calls it friluftsliv, living simply in connection with nature. Italians have sprezzatura, effortless elegance without overdoing it. Different names, same principle, protect your stillness by choosing less, but better. This means investing in one high-quality item that lasts a decade instead of 10 cheap ones that break. It means prioritizing experiences that enrich your soul over objects that clutter your space. Ask yourself, if your environment stopped pressuring you to upgrade, how much money would you actually save? Looking back, I realized my biggest mistake wasn't spending. It was ignoring the quiet moments. Those split seconds where I could have paused, asked the question, and chosen differently. Japanese money habits aren't about living like a monk. They're about building roots deep enough that lifestyle creep can't pull you off balance. Because true wealth doesn't come from the noise of upgrades, it comes from the quiet gap between income and lifestyle. Remember that quiet moment on payday? The screen lights up, the balance refreshes. A wave of relief washes over you, a temporary calm. But almost immediately the whispers begin, the siren song of upgrades, the pressure for more. Let that moment of peace linger. Don't let the noise steal your financial stillness. That new phone, the trendier clothes, the dinner out you don't really need, these are the fleeting desires that erode your foundation. Because if you resist, something truly magical happens. Your wealth begins to compound, growing louder in the background, even as your life stays still, calm, and free. This isn't about deprivation, it's about intentionality. The richest life isn't built in public or measured by what strangers see. It's built in the quiet, deliberate pauses no one else notices, where you choose your future over fleeting gratification. It's in these moments you choose enough over more, roots over noise. This is the spirit of Kakeibo, the Japanese art of mindful budgeting. It's about asking, do I need this, versus do I want this? Real wealth doesn't need a stage. It needs consistency, deep personal intention, and your protection from lifestyle creep, one quiet choice at a time. So tell me, what's one quiet money habit that's changed your life? I read everyone. And if this whispered truth spoke to you, stay here. Settle in quietly. Your wealth doesn't need applause, it just needs proof. Start building. Today, skip one upgrade. Just one. Let that money rest. And breathe.